Look, I just want to say this to Chinese people. The TikTok refugees, they flooded into Red Book. What do we call it? Little Red Book. It's been like, what, 3 to 5 days? Maybe less. As a president myself, nobody knows speed more than I do. And I tell you what, this is China speed. China speed, you heard me. It's so fast, frankly speaking, it's tremendous.
While we're watching all this Chinese content, not propaganda, just everyday Chinese life, because Red Note is Chinese Pinterest, more or less. It's not their TikTok. We can't get their TikTok in our app store. We are getting to see everyday life in China. US government, you got some splaining to do, because we're seeing videos and their life is looking so much better than ours. You might see the videos where they eat out for breakfast and they can't decide where to eat for breakfast. So people are giving recommendations of all these restaurants and what the restaurants serve. First of all, you'll notice they tend to flash past the menu, and you can easily hop over to Google Currency and find out that almost everybody eats out for breakfast for like $1, $1.50. Full meal for like $1. It's just part of the culture. 2, have you seen the corporate cafeterias? The paid for by the company corporate cafeterias, where there are like a plethora of options. Healthy, well-balanced options, some fried stuff, but like, here's a soup, here's some rice, here's a protein, here are some salad options, menu changes every day, take as much as you want. Did you notice they also take a lunch hour? A whole lunch hour to enjoy their meals? Now let's skip on to dinner. Have you seen the amount of seafood they're eating? Do you notice anything about that? Like lobster and crab and squid and octopus are not like, it's your birthday, let's go to Red Lobster. It's like, it's Tuesday. You want the 7 pounds of lobster or the 7 pounds of crab? And when they flash to those menus, it's cheaper than Red Lobster. Have you seen their grocery hauls? They're not bragging. They're just showing you what they bought at the fresh market, which is fresh meat and fresh produce. They don't have to go to the Dollar Tree to try to find 6-week-old bread that will never actually mold over. They went to the bakery for the baked goods. They went to the farm stand for the fresh goods. They went to the meat guy for the fresh meat. They brought it all home. And they're not even like, oh my god, guys, the savings and the coupons. Did you pick up on that? Have you seen the videos of the kids at schools? Not just doing some weird, like, to the test. Have you seen the ones where they clean up the classroom and cook their own meals? These are like 2nd graders who are making their own meals and then they clean up after their own meals, who are learning motor skill functions and basic life skills in school. And maybe you want to hop over to TikTok and see what's going on in a 2nd grade classroom in the US. Have you seen the town square dancing thing? There used to be a tall gentleman on my TikTok early on in COVID. He would do square dancing. Apparently it's not just him. Apparently towns have these fitness activity centers in like the town square, and people gather and do like Tai Chi in the morning and square dancing at night. We're watching everyday life in China. We don't even need propaganda. We're watching everyday clips. Shit's cheaper, shit's cleaner, people on the app are nicer. Even if they don't want us here, they're willing to work around us as long as we just follow some basic rules. The sheer number of people who are reaching out to help us with our content violations because they know we don't know Mandarin. The number of people who on TikTok are now starting to say ni hao. US government, congratulations. We didn't need China's propaganda. You pissed us off so bad we went running towards just their everyday life videos. And that is so attractive, we didn't even need the propaganda ones. We just noticed the price of their groceries, the quality of their school, the paid for lunch and the full lunch hour at work thing. And seriously, some of their lobster udon noodle situations are cheaper than a Big Mac. For lobster. Tell me again about those tariffs you guys want to put in to save America. Now you want to get rid of the Department of Education. You better hope MAGA doesn't get on there, because if China has the equivalent of a Ford F-150 and if it costs like under $10,000, you're so fucked.
I'm just having eye-opening conversations with people on Red Newt where I was asked like 10 minutes ago, what do you eat? What do you eat for 3 meals a day as an American? And I had to be like, oh, I don't eat 3 meals a day. And they're like, why? And I was like, well, I can't afford to. I'm single and I work 3 jobs just to maintain ownership of the crappy house that I'm in now. So what I do is I wake up in the morning and I drink a cup of coffee and I take my medication that helps me not want to unalive myself during the day. And that also takes away my appetite. It gives it back for a brief moment, but between the depression and the medication, I usually don't want to eat. So it's okay. It's okay that I can't afford to eat because I don't want to most of the time anyway. And then for dinner, it's anyone's game. I take free stuff wherever I can. But most of the time I just try to like get something going in the slow cooker, like a roast and potatoes or carrots, something that will give me the bare minimum of protein and carbs to keep going. And they didn't know what to do with that. And then I was asked, is it true that you have to pay for ambulances over there? Like if you have a heart attack or something, like you have to pay to like be taken to the hospital in an ambulance. And that was an eye-opening conversation because I'm sitting here and it's the 7th year after the last time I was taken anywhere by ambulance, and I never paid that bill because it was for 11 miles and it was $19,000 7 years ago. And I never paid that, so I sort of had an internal celebration when it fell off my credit report. Which they don't have in China. Finish your dinner, my Chinese friends, because there are starving people in America.
I absolutely loathe the kind of foreigners whose social media content is all about how amazing China is compared to their home countries, because really that sort of behavior feels to me like it's the same as shit-talking your mom and dad to your boyfriend's cousins for clout, and that's just not cool. But there are things that China does very, very well, and for which China deserves a Go China, of which the availability of medical care absolutely has to be one, or at least the availability of medical care in large cities like the one that I live in. This morning, I did not have an appointment when I went into the international clinic with regards to my, hopefully, just because I was overheating, falling when I got out of a bathtub on Sunday, and I've already had a blood draw, had an EKG, and now I am on my way to get an MRI. Same day as I went in. There's absolutely no way that would be possible in my hometown. I'd have to wait at least 3 or 4 days just because we don't have that many people and we don't have the population density. So yeah, go China.
This is not a joke. I'm serious. I'm very, very serious. Listen, any American with a serious medical condition, buy a ticket, fly to China, get the medical care, go back. Don't ask me why. American people know why. And I'm sure, for many of you guys, the most expensive part in the whole process is the tickets. So, if you are struggling, why not give it a try?
The Chinese people on the Red Note app are saying they don't pay property tax, and as a Canadian, I'm sitting here going, wait a second. We have the highest taxes in, like, the world, and we have potholes everywhere. They have low taxes, and they live in the fucking future.
In China, we don't need to pay real estate tax. Okay, such like my apartment, $70,000. When I buy it, I only pay one time 1% of the tax.
What do you mean they don't have taxes? What do you mean you buy a house for $70,000 and you own it forever? What?
Hello, American friends.
The third letter to my American friends. Many of you have asked me whether there are a lot of taxes in China. I'll explain based on my own situation. In China, I'm in the lower middle class. I graduated from college in 2016, and my monthly income at that time was around 5,000 to 6,000 yuan. At this income level, there's no need to pay taxes in China. This income has a purchasing power equivalent to about $2,500. In 2022, the 6th year of my work, my annual income was 700 yuan, with a purchasing power equivalent to $350,000. Taking into account tax-free allowances such as for renting a house and supporting parents, I finally paid 200,000 yuan in taxes. If I get sick or have children, the tax amount will be further reduced on this basis. Now, I've been working for 8 years. In 2024, I set up a personal studio. My annual income is 1 million yuan with a purchasing power equivalent to $500,000, but I don't pay any taxes at all. This is because the government encourages us to start businesses. For personal studios, if the annual income is within 1.2 million yuan, it's tax-free, with a monthly tax-free allowance of 100,000 yuan. Our 5 basic insurances, including medical insurance, pension insurance, unemployment insurance, work-related injury insurance, and maternity insurance, must be paid by the company for employees. It's about 1,000 yuan per month. The company and the employee each pay half. There's also the Housing Provident Fund, which is 400 yuan per month. Again, the company and the employee each pay half. The Housing Provident Fund can be used when we buy or rent a house. It provides a low-interest loan of up to 600,000 yuan, with an interest rate of 3% and a maximum loan term of 30 years. If you don't want to buy or rent a house, you can withdraw the Provident Fund at any time. These are the minimum standards that companies are required to pay. As long as an employee has provided labor to the company, these must be paid. Even if there's no labor contract, the company still has to pay. There's no way to avoid it. If a company dares not to pay, you don't need to hire a lawyer. Just call the government's Labor Arbitration Bureau. Someone will handle it immediately. The Labor Arbitration Bureau will contact the company and demand payment. If the company doesn't pay, it will be directly fined after arbitration, and the money will be compensated to the employees, usually 2 to 3 times the amount that should be paid. The process is very fast and will be completed within 2 months. Usually, it doesn't take that long and can be resolved in a few days. The above-mentioned insurance and Provident Fund are the minimum payment standards. You can pay more, but generally, companies only want to pay according to the minimum standards. Only some large companies will pay more. My wife works for a big internet company. She pays 7,000 yuan for the Housing Provident Fund every month, and the company and she each pay half. My American friends, do you have a lot of types of taxes? I've heard there are many strange taxes. Can you tell me about them? Oh, by the way, some friends have asked me if they can forward or use my videos and portraits. Here, I'd like to clarify that as long as it doesn't violate the law and doesn't harm the interests of others, I freely authorize the working people around the world to use my videos.
Peace.
People all over the world are clowning us. No wonder America been trying to keep us sheltered. You see the architecture of China's buildings? You go anywhere and look at the architecture of these people's buildings. Look how their cities look. Look how their country look. We pay taxes. Why shit don't look like that? And let's not talk about their cars. I seen a car yesterday that was 41,000 US dollars. Electric car that you can drive to work, you can get out the car, go and work, and the car will go home and park itself. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And then there's cell phones. Why you think they don't want their cell phones over here? Like iPhones and Galaxies, that shit. These shits is trash. Their cell phones is way more advanced than ours. Everything is way more advanced. What's going on? They open up Pandora's box with this shit. I'm glad we seen Red Note. Why is the whole world saying that we are a third world country with a Gucci belt? A third world country with a Gucci belt. I'm out.
Hello foreign friends, this is my home in Changsha, China. It took 600 days to complete the renovation. Now let me take you on a tour of what Chinese families live in. Coming in from the southern garden, these are all plants planted by my wife herself. This one is an orange tree, and it took us a lot of effort to plant it. In order to provide more space for my son's activities, no tables or chairs were placed. My wife and I usually drink tea here and sometimes barbecue with friends. This is my living room and dining room, with almost no furniture, only a sofa. I like a simple style. This refrigerator is my favorite appliance. It can automatically make ice cubes and large balls of ice, bringing joy throughout the summer. This is the backyard, where some tools and miscellaneous items will be stored, and some vegetables will be grown. Let's go upstairs and take a look. This is my bedroom where we can watch movies, drink tea, and have complete functions. We can stay in the bedroom for a day without having to go downstairs. We're going downstairs to take a look. This is my study. I work from home for a long time every day, so this floor is a work area that is very independent and not disturbed. This computer is used for work, and this computer is used for playing games. Game I have been playing the most recently is Black Myth Wukong. I can't see a single wire on the entire desktop. It's all hidden under the table. I love this minimalist style so much. Go downstairs and you'll reach my basement. This is a comprehensive leisure space where I usually exercise, play guitar, and watch TV. Alright, that's all for today's tour. Can you take a look at what your
Xiaohongshu.
Hi TikTok refugees. I bet most of you have never seen Chinese courtyard like this. It's a rainy evening. Let me give you a house tour of Chinese ordinary young people. Here is a 2-meter wide plastic wood corridor that serves as a transition between the garden and the interior. Many fans wondered what the pavilion was used for. It's actually a mahjong room. Next to it is the fish pond. It's also a comfortable place to sit and talk. This is the main fish pond, 2 meters deep. On the other side is a stream with a depth of 60 centimeters. We usually get in and out of the garden through this sliding door. This is the garden laundry, where you can also dry clothes on sunny days. Now let's go to the entrance door and get inside. There's no lawn here near the front door, covered in marble for easy parking. I usually like to store my deliveries here. Let's go inside. Welcome to my sweet home. This is the multifunctional island area. You can wash your hands when you get home. Inside is the Chinese kitchen. My husband is making dinner. This is the living room. The decoration is made of many wood elements, simple but durable. On the other side is the dining room. You can also watch TV while eating. Let's go to the kitchen and see what my husband is cooking. My husband is making delicious pork chops. The 3-meter island is really practical. May I see what your house looks like? See you next time.
The fire's burning high, stocks falling in the west. Lost my home last Friday, but hey, life's still a quest. Found myself a little app where kindness lights the way. Xiaohongshu's a village where strangers laugh and play. I eat dumplings in a bowl, painted with a crane, wearing jeans stitched in China, walking through the rain. The landlord knocks my door, rent's 2 months overdue, but I'm learning ni hao now, feels like something new. My country's shouting banning while I scroll the feed, but here are friends from China, sharing rice and tea. From the Rockies to bamboo, from the bayou to the plain, we're swapping cats and stories through sunshine and rain. Not about where it's made, but the bridges that we weave. Xiaohongshu, we're human, and that's what I believe. smiled and said, we're saving up for hospital bills. So we baked some bread. They said my TikTok's banned, but what's a band to me? I'm planting seeds in Xiaohongshu, where all the world can see. Under lantern light I see a bridge built out of words. Through laughter, love, and languages, we're stitching different worlds. The rivers flow through bamboo groves and under starry skies. Here's to you, my distant friend, our bond will never die. From the Rockies to bamboo, from the bayou to the plain, we're swapping cats and stories through sunshine and rain. Not about where it's made, but the bridges that we weave. On Xiaohongshu we're human, and that's what I believe. The app may fade, but memories stay like tea leaves in a cup. From cranes on bowls to stars above, we've built each other up. So light a lantern, write a note, and sing this little tune. On bridges built in kindness, the world's a brighter